We'll go ahead and get started with the second episode of Black Afterthoughts. I am Taylor. Who next?
I'm Caleb.
Now, Marcus. Now, before we start, Tyranny, it is going to look very self-centered if you are in her video and have your picture up and nothing else as well.
Well, she's recording on her iPad as well, just as a backup.
It's weird. It's just like, well, who's this person who's not speaking in the box?
This is Tyranny.
Oh, yeah, she behind me.
Trying to be my best friend in life. So we on the trial run, big dog.
I'm about to say, is it going well? How's it going?
She ain't got on my nerves yet. We doing all right.
Oh, just give it time.
I'm fucking dead.
What I do it.
He has no faith in you, Tyranny.
I'm sorry that you guys feel that way.
I'm fucking dead.
But if you gonna get on her nerves, I get on her nerves. I've known her since high school.
How come every time when somebody feels a way, you want me into it? I ain't say none of that.
No, she's talking about me. I
She said you
don't agree with her statement. I have no faith. I was just like, no, there's no hope.
Well, all right. First topic of the evening. We're going to talk about this Will and Jada entanglement madness. Fellas, do you want to start or do you want the ladies?
Oh, y'all start.
Well, I don't agree with her actions at all.
What?
I don't. I feel like with her explanation with everything, she was supposed to use that time to figure out herself, not figure out yourself in the bed with somebody else. Because at the end of the day, even though you were separated from your partner, you're still married. Y'all just chose to take that time to separate and work on you're married. Excuse me. Until it says you were divorced, you were no longer a Smith, you were married. That's just me. Damn, bitch.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What I tell you?
We
Not even 5 minutes.
seizures. I'll be in this.
Not even 5 minutes.
Huh?
Not even 5 minutes. Already getting. Proceed.
I just don't agree with it. I just feel like on her end, I think it was irresponsible to take advantage. I feel like she took advantage of him because she knew that he was in a broken place. He mentally was not in a position to be making those type of connections with anyone. She even said it. He was broken. He was sick, and you know that. So it also makes it, in a way, it makes it seem like you're a predator. That's just me. Like I said, she should have took that time to work on herself, and it shouldn't have taken him to stop talking to her or to cut ties with her for her to fix her relationship with Will. Because she said he stopped talking to her altogether. August Alsina did. I feel like for him, I feel like it was very immature to even air out your dirty laundry. Because at the end of the day, whether you look at it as, oh, you're not in a relationship with Will right now, you're still sleeping with a married woman. And you know that.
Side question. Is it really dirty laundry if you're a part of it?
Yeah. I think it's something that should not, I feel like that whole statement of don't kiss and tell is very important. Because if you were doing it for the right reasons, you wouldn't even be talking. But I guess I hit Jada. You know, that's a badge of honor to the cat. I guess.
Okay.
Back and forth on that, and I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I feel back and forth on that.
You sound low, Caleb.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
You sound low. You wanna bring whatever you're using closer to you a little bit and kind of lean up.
I'll go while he's fixing himself.
Well, he's muted right now, but
Well, I'll go while he's fixing himself. So here's what I think about the whole thing. I think that this was done on purpose to get some clout and to be talked about because it was 4 years ago. So I really feel like he brought it up to do all this stuff. And I think that I think that they all know what they were doing, and I think Will definitely had somebody else on the side. So I feel like we talking about Jada in August, but you think Will was just chilling by himself? So
We can't talk about Will. You can't prove that. You can't confirm or deny, big dog.
I mean, I'm just saying, like,
Go ahead, come on first. Keep on. You can't walk and chew gum. It's okay. Just tell me that.
no, I can't. But I think that for him to bring it up 4 years later, I feel like it was definitely like, because think about it, this thing's big and it's been talked about for a long time because a lot of people going on. I feel like they wanted it to be relevant.
I just feel like
Because it's 4 years later.
I also feel like the reason why this shit is so big is because everybody wants that Will and Jada love type shit. We hear the J. Cole. We hear it talked about when people talk about black marriages and relationships. They're like one of the top 5 people that people talk about. And I think in a way, it kind of addresses that. People saying relationship goals and shit. And it's just a reminder that you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Like nobody ever knew that they were funking that heavy to the point where Will said, "I'm about to leave your ass." And this is the same man that you hear at a Red Table Talk or any interview that says that there's nothing she could ever do to make me leave. Those two things contradict themselves.
All right.
Go ahead, fellas.
That's what I'm gonna say. I don't think it was for clout, for the simple fact that August Alsina was on Red Table Talk. Well after, you know what I'm saying, the whole separation between Will and Jada. This came from a place of hurt. You know when you encounter, I'm asking the ladies, you know when you encounter a guy and you know he ain't shit. Like, it's one of them dudes who you know do chicks dirty as hell. This is what creates that dude. This whole entire situation with him going on and with him sitting down talking with Angela Yee and him saying the thing, he was in pain. Like this was passion because he really fell for this woman. Also, I got to shout out one podcast, the Dre Mack Show. 3 words. Seasoned cougar cooch. First off, hilarious. Second, that is exactly what happened. She manipulated this man mentally, spiritually, and emotionally.
He knew what he was doing. Shit,
That's what I was about to say. He knew the job.
No, because if you hear the Red Table Talk, they was like him and her and Will was like he was in a hurt place. Like he knew August.
That don't mean you don't acknowledge what you was fucking.
No, the reason why he was toward Jada the way that he was is because she allowed that. That was
So it's all on her.
Absolutely.
I would say it was all on her. Listen,
Making it seem like.
I'm not making it seem like. All I'm saying is most of the actions that were done had to do with manipulation. Simple and plain. He did it, yes. Should he have done it? No. But what are you supposed to do when you feel strongly about somebody? You're going to ignore those feelings, especially in the mental state that he's in?
No one said ignore the feelings, but at the same time, there's a mental process that goes on there to whether you make a decision or not. You made the decision to engage with this woman. You knew once it got to a certain point where y'all passed the point of being friends and y'all about to start fucking, you made the conscious decision, pull your dick out and participate. It takes 2 for this shit.
Yeah. Nobody's faulting him for, nobody's saying that he wasn't at fault for what he did. He did it. But trust and believe, that was not the intent.
So how hurt can he really be if he chose to engage?
What do you mean how hurt can he be? Everybody knows how hurt he was. Everybody knew what he was going through. Everybody knows his backstory. Everything. Go ahead, Caleb. Go ahead.
Taylor, I put it like this. Hurt, yes, but confused is probably what it really is. Somebody can be very somebody can be very hurt, but they're just confused and they take it out on the wrong, and cope the wrong way. Just look at a drug addict. So, hurt, that's debatable. But confused and dealing with it in a completely different way, that's probably exactly what it was. Because some people cope in good ways. The next thing you know, they drop 100 pounds in the gym. Some people cope in horrible ways. Next thing you know, they bend in corners drunk as fuck. So, I mean, hurt, debatable. Confused, absolutely. Manipulated, I'm not going to say manipulated because Jada wasn't also in her right mind. So, because she has just got off she just ended the relationship. And I don't agree with just because you're married that you stick with it. If the relationship's over, the relationship's over. So I don't believe just for the sake of marriage, nah, big dog, if it's over, it's over. But Jada was going through her own shit. They went about it wrong as hell, but I'm not going to say manipulated.
No truer words have ever been said. When it's over, it's over.
And before I found out my video was shit, what I was trying to say is I don't believe in the kissing and telling thing because it's just like, it's my story too. And it's not, kissing and telling to me is just you getting your clout off. Oh, I fucked some girl, I fucked Jada Pickett. Look at me. I feel like that kissing and telling, but I don't think it's kissing and telling is like you saying, oh, I was in this place. This is a point in my life. It just so happens that you get a cameo or a feature in it. I don't consider that kissing and telling.
Yeah.
Why bring it up after years ago?
Yeah, and how like you talking about pain and stuff. Jada, like on the Red Table Talk, was talking about she was in pain too and trying to figure out stuff. So they both were. So in a sense, like I feel like they both are at fault for the same.
Yeah, they're both at fault.
I'm talking about Mark. I was talking to Marcus.
Yeah, I completely agree. No, they're both at fault. I get that, but I'll say this: like her manipulation because the relationship.
Turn this damn LED light alert off, Lord Jesus Christ.
Her relationship with August initially did not lead to their relationship and what it turned into. And when I say this, when she was hurt, she ended up doing something that necessarily wasn't right in the first place either, because she went to August, you know what I'm saying, looking for something that she should have found by herself. She ended up realizing later that she wasn't supposed to do that, but she did end up doing that.
Yeah. And
so, yeah.
I guess I'm just confused where, okay, August has every right to feel pain, and it is his story, so he does have a right to tell it. And right. I'm in agreement with that. I'm just saying, why all of a sudden? Like, why now, 4 years later, do you feel the need to talk about it? The only thing is like, that's fine, because people take time to tell stories. People take time to heal from things. And he might be okay with it now. So he might be okay to talk about it and not be hurt again. However, I'm just saying, like, I feel like it's just a lot of drama brought up for no reason, because if he really did grow from it and have closure, he wouldn't feel the need to bring it up to somebody in front of the whole world. But that's just me personally.
Do you feel the same way about women who do that?
What?
About men? Do you feel the same about women who do that to men? If the roles were reversed, because the situation is always switched more often than the woman being, you know what I'm saying, the focal point.
Right. I think the women, if they had the same thing, like it was switched, if it was Jada doing it about August, I think Jada would be wrong too. Because what is the point? Like if you were in pain, that's valid. And it is your story, so that's valid too. However, bringing it up this late is kind of like, what was your purpose? Did you want to, is that how you wanted to have closure? Did you want to get back at somebody? Or like, did you really just want to talk about it? Because to me, it didn't seem like he genuinely just wanted to talk about it. It seemed like he brought it up for a reason. And like, he's going in on Twitter. So it's kind of like.
Because even then, he still had an album coming out.
He already did.
I'm sorry. Album came out. And of course, he didn't have very good sales with the last one.
This one's pretty good.
He's not. Then it gets talked about with Beyonce. Then Keith Palmer's brought in it. And it's just like, now you're being messy.
Yeah.
Like, what is your intent? Just like Katie, when you say with people who protest, what is the point? What is the support? what are you doing?
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It just seemed like, and then also Marcus, you brought up a very good point because you said he's been on the red table talk since then.
Mm-hmm.
Why was it not talked about then?
Right.
You literally sitting in front of the woman that you've had an entanglement with. You could have.
Well, he didn't consider it an entanglement.
In that media, because that's what it's there for. It's there to talk about uncomfortable things and to pretty much express yourself. And and it's supposed to be this sacred place of healing. You were so broken and you wanted to tell the world. That is the perfect platform to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably play devil's advocate on this, and
shit.
Honestly, it probably has been talked about before. It's probably just the first time that it got aired out.
Well, he aired it out.
I mean, okay. It just so happened that, like, instead of talking to a therapist, he talked to a radio host. I mean, and I don't know the whole thing, so I can't quote you on the Keke Palmer and all that other I don't know the whole thing, but, like, what I do know, Tierney, answering your question, is just, like, people air shit out on their own time. I can talk personally about how I felt some type of, I mean, Taylor, you probably know the scenario, but I mean, I felt some type of way where it's just like, I felt some way towards somebody and I didn't have to air shit out until she got involved with somebody else. And it's just like, now I have to air it out, like, to where it's like up in the air and shit. Or like, even another example where it's just like, and it's a very drastic example. This is apples and oranges completely, but it can also be like, it could take rape victims 10 minutes to tell the story. It can take them years to tell them the story. The fact that it's a traumatic experience and it's a rough spot, you can't have a time frame on that. Again, I'm not gonna sit here and say that they're the exact same thing, but people, and I'm not saying it's right, but there's a time frame to shit that you just have to accept. So I mean, it might have been 4 years after the fact. He might now just have the balls to like actually get back to a comfortable spot, or like he might be finished hurting. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'm not his manager, but I mean, given the time frame, I'm not gonna say it's irrelevant, but I'm not gonna fault it for being 4 years after that. Especially the fact, let's keep it a buck.
I'll say this: it's different when it comes to
it's a marriage.
It's different between it comes to like people like me or anybody in this Zoom meeting, because we are not necessarily super famous. Okay, when you are famous, you feel like there is a need to say something because other people know. You know what I'm saying? As far as celebrities, it feels like it's supposed to happen. It's supposed to happen publicly when you're a celebrity, because when you're a celebrity, your privacy becomes obsolete or diminished tremendously. It's just like, it's very hard to do something privately when you're known for something than it is for you not to be known. So with him going, like, I agree that he should have went to a therapist or somebody in the circles to vent out to, or to air it out to somebody. But if he does that, then somebody else says something, and then all of a sudden the narrative is changed because the story has changed. It's just like, because it could be a lot worse than the situation is right now.
Just like when somebody from Jada's team tweeted that that's not true, this didn't happen, and then her first sentence was, somebody presented this without my knowledge.
And it's
the opportunity to speak. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so it's better off if it's actually better that he actually did what he did, because if he would have said it to something, then something that got misconstrued and a message could have been missed, and then a situation could have been a lot worse. Like Jada could have been painted as a predator to the public eye, because you saying that she was a predator was just a personal opinion, because it is just what is already out there.
Like walking around in a cougar suit. What are we talking about?
Dressed up like Catwoman.
Say that, Cat.
So
I mean,
I commend him on what he did, because it's not even easy for a man to even express how he feels publicly.
I know, and I know I can personally say that, like, I'm not gonna be the one to judge. It's the more understanding you have, the less blame there is. Like, I can honestly say I've been LOL in an entanglement. I've been in an entanglement because I got my feelings hurt, and I'm not gonna say that the person that I got into an entanglement with, was manipulative. I'm not gonna say that she was searching for it. She just so happened to catch it. And I completely understand how, like, shit gets misconstrued, and I can understand how Jada was the person to be like, oh, I just wanted to help, and then, like, I fell for him. Like, I've been there. It's wrong, and the only reason, like, I don't have more to say about it is because, like, I knew deep down I wasn't attracted to the next person, but I mean, yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, I mean, I just know that, like, I understand and I've been there. So, excuse me. So, I mean, I can understand. And then after the fact, what I was getting to was, like, it's hard to tell that story after the fact, especially, like, it's hard, especially, like, if you're still entangled in it. But no, I've been there, so I can't.
It's trash. It's absolute trash.
Do we agree that Jada was wrong? August was wrong in parts, but it's more of an understanding as to why.
I think they both are at fault.
Absolutely. That's not what are you put your ears on?
Who's more at fault, ma'am?
Nobody.
Jada.
There is no more at fault. It's just, you just have to put it in perspective. I don't know, for example, I'm gonna bring another example up, and you guys might disagree with me completely. Who's talking?
Nobody's talking.
All right, my bad. And that was some asshole shit. I didn't mean for it to cop off like that. I just can't hear myself.
Who's talking? I was like, no, we waiting on your thought.
Something really bad.
Well, we absolutely just sitting
He's going off on himself.
Like, who's talking? Nigga, it's you.
Who the hell is talking? I'm over here looking in the mirror. Who the fuck is speaking while I'm speaking?
No, it's that fourth box right there.
But another example that you guys might agree with, you guys might not, is the Chris Brown Rihanna situation, where, like, everybody looks at Chris Brown like, oh, you shouldn't have put your hands on her, this, that, and the third. You go back to the interview, that's what the relationship was. So it's just like, to say, oh, it's all Chris Brown's fault, when I'm going to be real stereotypical. Got this crazy ass Islander taking a heel to your head while you driving, like,
yeah,
I'm not going to sit here.
Here's the deal. People should, in relationships, nobody should be putting their hands on anybody. Woman should not be putting her hands on no man, and he shouldn't be putting her hands on him, period. The people your hands on the people you talking to. That's fucked up.
Side note, if you attack the driver of a moving car, you are insane.
Huh?
There is no reason why you should attack the driver. There's nobody. You should never be as mad that you don't care about your own. No.
What did Kevin Hart say? What did Kevin Hart say? Oh, you crazy. You trying to kill your side of the car.
Yeah, kill your side. No, she's attacking him because of messages or somebody who was at a party. And then she is asking questions, and then she's attacking him. I do not believe that he hit her because I don't think he hit her at a random. Or I don't think he hit her first.
He said she hit him in the nuts and all kinds of shit.
While driving.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. In the Lambo. But that's not my point.
I think the back end was warranted. That's my personal opinion.
I'm saying my point on it is you can't just put, there is no who has more blank.
I agree.
You gotta factor in it. That was my point. That Chris Brown Rihanna thing's a whole other thing. But if you gotta factor in it, you.
Yeah.
But you see the double standards though. You see how the double standard is set. You know what I'm saying? It's like a woman said something. Let me put it like this. When August came out, everybody was just like, why is he doing this? Why? Like, why is August doing this? Nothing went to Jada first.
Okay,
Until she sat down.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. On his Twitter, though, the thing is trust me, I love August. Okay, I'm on his side too. However, I'm just saying, whenever he was on Twitter, he is like coming for other people besides Jada. For example, Keke Palmer, he did her so bogus on Twitter, and then said he was supposed to be her friend, and then put her on blast and basically talk shit to her. And they're supposed to be cool. Then Keke felt like she needed to post a picture because he was hurting her so bad. So like, I feel like now you're bringing in other people that had nothing to do with Jada, and that's not when he supposedly was hurting or whatever. But now you're bringing other people and
like
other
Beyonce.
drama.
Why are you bringing Beyonce? She said shit.
Like I just feel like now it's getting to a point where I think that he's hurting right now, and I think that he doesn't know how to do stuff, so he's coming for other people because that shit happens, and I get that.
On that Corinne Stephen shit.
I'm just saying, like, that and the double standard thing, Marcus, I see where you're trying to come at. Like, if it was a woman, vice versa. But here's the deal. Do you know how many double standards women get for the shit that men do that is okay? Like, come on, man.
If Beyonce did some shit, then she need to get brought out to the forefront.
Yeah, boy.
Absolutely.
No, I heard he broke a girl's toes, so it might not be that much of a
Nah, I didn't hear nothing about Keke Palmer. Like, I don't remember anything that happened in that situation.
She probably did.
He got sued.
Beyonce probably did do some. Beyonce probably did do some shit on the flip side.
Bitches,
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, Beyonce probably did do some shit.
Things about him.
Like, you celebrate his birthday and shit with your weird ass. Moving on.
I don't even know his birthday.
I'm dead. Next topic is monogamy. Natural or is it realistic or not?
It should be.
Fellas, y'all can start this one.
All right. You want to start?
You shouldn't do it.
I got it. I believe in it as a battered and bruised man. Let me explain. Let me explain. I say a battered and bruised man because it's like,
up, bro. Continue.
I just say battered and bruised just in regards to like not the woman in herself, but it's just like the less patience that you have, you start to realize just like, I can't deal with anybody else. I don't want to deal with anybody else. You're going to be the closest person I try to get it with. So it's just between that, and I value that relationship. And if that relationship ends up being like, oh, it's either me or you can have your freedom, and I've had my freedom and it doesn't bring the happiness and joy that I got, then I'm not gonna knock monogamy by any means. But I mean, if I don't value the relationship like that, that's great.
I completely agree. I mean, there's no better feeling than, you know what I'm saying, knowing there's somebody that you're not related to love you unconditionally. You know what I'm saying? And nothing beats that feeling. You know what I'm saying? You actually feel seen when it comes to that.
Ooh. Side note, Taylor, write that down. Is conditional love or unconditional love a thing? That's another topic. I'm gonna let you finish, Marcus.
Yeah. You know, or the feeling that somebody unconditionally loves you, like you feel important. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's us as, you know, as individuals, you know what I'm saying, who are not known for what we do, even though we're good at it. You know what I'm saying? It's like we don't get the acknowledgement that we feel that we get. You know what I'm saying? We just feel like people just moving, you know what I'm saying, in this world. You know what I'm saying? Really existing and not living. It's just like when you get somebody who, you know what I'm saying, who appreciates, you know, the things that you do for them, you know what I'm saying, the energy that you bring as well as the knowledge and, you know what I'm saying, the moment.
Knock it off, weirdo.
It's not even that hot.
It's 70 degrees in here. It's hot. Sorry.
But
Marcus, I gave you my undivided attention.
I am, but she back here fanning behind me. Caleb, you know how cold my apartment get. It's 70 degrees in here and this bitch sweating.
I'm sorry that I'm having hot flashes.
No, menopause having ass. Take your damn jacket off.
Anyway,
I thought Caleb was the old one.
so yes, monogamy should be natural. Now, with all that being said, I ain't looking for that shit. I can care less as of right now. I keep my freedom. You know what I'm saying? It's cheaper. You know what I'm saying? It's less responsibility on top of the shit that I'm trying to do. Ain't nobody in who's worthy right now. Who?
That's
like,
a personal problem.
I'm just what I'm saying. But it is. It's absolutely personal. I'm talking about from my own experience. Yes, monogamy it should be natural. But if it's not, don't compromise yourself.
It's all the way up. I just said that. It's on 100.
You good?
Sorry, she
Marcus, I'm listening to you.
telling me to turn it up.
You all right? You good?
I told her it was already on 100. I can't tell her to turn it up past 100 shit. Marcus, why are you muted?
Okay.
Okay. While Marcus is being muted and frozen.
Oh, last part, and I'll just make this quick and that.
Go ahead.
Listen, no, my mom.
Last,
All right, Tyranny, you good?
last analogy that I got. If you had your dream job and you got the pay that you wanted and you got to do exactly what you wanted to do and you got all the benefits, you wouldn't look for another job. I'm not gonna say monogamy, and I'm not gonna say monogamy isn't a thing, but you value that job so much. Not to mention, it's more of like you wouldn't consider getting a second job. So it's just if it actually there, you don't think of like if the respect for the relationship is actually there, you don't think about monogamy as an actual thing. You just rock with it. In my personal perspective,
I say a second job is only obtained under two circumstances. Either you're trying to get somewhere or you want to speed up the process of saving up for something. Now, due to monogamy is totally different. The 80-20 rule is very real. The 80-20 rule, which is you will receive 80% from your significant other that you choose, no more, no less than 80%. Well, when you focus on the 20%, that's when you feel like you're losing something. And instead of focusing on the 80%, you're focused on the 20%, which is a lot of what people do initially. They feel they only focus on the negative instead of the positive, which are the people you are trying to like avoid because you don't want negativity around you. But it is something, it is a factor. So monogamy is supposed to be natural, but the right, just because it may not feel natural with that person just means it's not that person, doesn't mean that monogamy is not for anybody. But if you feel like monogamy is not for you, then monogamy is not for you. But it's different. It's just a difference. And sometimes you may come across that one person that can change your whole life. Say, for instance, Will and Jada. Will Smith was married when he met Jada. And then after meeting Jada, he felt like he made a mistake. He had morals. He was like he was going to suffer through a marriage because he felt like he married the wrong person.
that's what he's doing right now. Bad marriage for life. That sounds like some bullshit.
I've seen more like Jada's instance other than Will's. But Will is willing to suffer through any and everything because, like Taylor said, he adores her. And now that is unconditional love.
Absolutely.
Yes, that right there. He has unconditional love for Jada. But it seems far-fetched from the outside looking in because we know personally we ain't going through that shit. I know I'm not going through that shit. I'm about to have no young bitch going my fuck. Like, fuck you.
Tierney, you want to go?
You can go.
I agree with everything that you guys are saying, but I also feel like, me personally, I don't feel like monogamy is realistic. We can look at, I don't feel like monogamy is realistic. First of all, if you want to look at society, women outnumber men, what, 4, 5 to 1?
Mm-hmm.
That's 1. So there's literally not enough of you guys on one planet for every woman.
That's not counting the gay dudes.
Moving on. So it's almost as if it's almost as if we're put in a position where sharing is normal, or expected. It's not enough of
In
you.
a negative sense. But
In
yes.
a negative sense.
Yes.
Wait, when is sharing normal?
Based off of there's more of us than you guys, and there's not enough man to woman. Somebody's sharing somewhere. Or they not like nothing at all.
Name a woman who does not expect every man to cheat. That's sharing. It's just like, that's why people in Atlanta, they're more progressive than we are because there's a lot of polygamous relationships, or they understand the concept of side relationships.
That's also why they leave the nation in STDs, but I back
I
that.
100% agree with you with that. But Marcus is pretty much right as far as
We're not doubting the consequences. There's consequences to all action. I'm just saying.
I, like, for example, I myself would be happy in a polygamous relationship. I'm very vocal about that. I wear a bracelet. Polygamy, bisexual, LGBTQ.
The streets.
I mean, and guess, but my thing is, it's not for everybody, which is fine. Because I feel like, who am I to limit the attraction, the energy, the love I have just to one person? I don't have to. You're talking, again, I like men and women. I may be in a relationship with a man, and I'm talking about this with my partner. And I said, like, we've had this conversation. We're on the same page that polygamy is in. That what if I come across a woman that I vibe with, that I genuinely am attracted to, share my energy with, my partner shares that energy with this same person, and we feel no different about this person than we do each other.
Side note, I personally feel if I were to meet a chick, we will forever have 2 separate places. I will love to have my own place, and she have her own place. Even if we're married, it's just like, I feel comfortable just going home to me. I don't necessarily you don't have to worry about me. It's something about that unknown. It's just like, hey, I need space from you. Let me go here, to go to my safe place. I will buy, like, listen, if I ever get into a position like that, I will buy my wife a house. Just get the hell over. Just go over there.
So,
Caleb's like, hell no, that's double the rent, double the utilities, double the food, double everything.
If I got it, I got it.
And then also, we've talked about this. We even talked about it yesterday, which is the crazy part. That on the male side, he would want to marry both women. You don't hear that very often. Some of them are very comfortable with having a wife and a girlfriend. But you're forgetting in America, monogamy is the thing. But when you go to parts of Africa, parts of Europe, you know, monogamy is normal. I mean, polygamy is normal, excuse me. You got a man in Africa with 12 wives, and he takes care of all 12 of them.
Yeah, monogamy is obsolete.
With the majority of them, if not all of them.
Yeah.
My father also said he would want to have children with both women. He's not going to just limit that to I'm gonna have kids with this woman, and y'all both gonna take care of them. That's unfair because there's so many women out here that want marriage or don't want kids. And if they don't want either one of those things, they're very vocal about it.
Yeah, in certain cases, like in the Middle East, it's just like if you want more than one wife, that's absolutely okay. You just cannot have one live below the other. So you have to be able to afford the other one. If I absolutely can't afford it, then yes, I'm 100% for that.
So I mean, we talked about what that looks like, but I feel like if you decide that polygamy is your life and something that you want to do, communication is 100% how that's going to happen. Communication and understanding. If not, motherfuckers get jealous, they get angry, cause so much unnecessary friction. So I feel like, for example, me and my partner, we have to figure out us and be on one page and positive and established with us before we can even think to bring that other person in, because that person is going to move how we move. This is a holistic thing that will happen, but it's going to take time. It's going to take 50 million things to get there.
But that's also kind of setting the perimeter that she's included, but she's not. It kind of gives off the position that she's a part of. If she's not a part of it, she's included in it because she is moving how you two move, which puts her on the outs, which makes her like out.
Some foundation has to be set. It has to be set by someone.
Yeah, but the foundation is set by 2 out of the 3 people
and everything else, and then try to together.
But the foundation is set from 2 out of the 3 people. That's
correct.
What I'm saying. So it kind of seems just like, what if this isn't her? So it's like you basically have to find somebody who moves exactly like you instead of finding somebody who you would want to.
I agree with that. I can see that. So.
Oh, I guess I'll have to be the outlier on this.
Caleb said, I don't like sharing.
In my personal opinion, polygamy, you can't hold somebody in a high light with polygamy. I can't say, oh, you're the love of my life. You're the one I want in my wife. And then go say that to her line sister. I can't say that. I can't do it.
That's not what that is. Oh my!
I can't do it.
Low key.
No, you can't do it.
Low key.
Wow.
You can't do so. I don't know. I'm not the person between that and it's like I can't. No, like I said, I can't fathom. You're the one for me, and then you want to now. That's at the marriage level. At the dating level, I can understand that, like you said, with communication, yes. At the dating level, I saw this one thing that's like, oh, are you exclusively dating me? And I think the response was like, when you're unemployed, do you, it's just because I had one job interview, they're not paying me. So like, of course I'm going to other jobs until one job pays me. Then it's just like, there's that. But I mean, no, I'm not. There's no way in hell. Back to what you were saying, if you see somebody else that your energy attracts to and all that other stuff, and you're attracted to them after a marriage or after a relationship, if you can bag my chick, you can have
my partner any less.
So can I go?
If you can bag my chick, you can have my chick.
Well, technically, bagging the chick, not just me, the chick. because that also is a thing. If you're just attracted to my man and not to me, then that's not what this is.
That's the foundation.
So, what do you mean?
Well, no, I'm just
That
saying
is
the
the
foundation
foundation.
is just like the attraction is
It's
mutual.
to us, not to one of us.
Yeah, that's the foundation.
No, that's actually what it is, because when you see all these polygamous relationships, you don't see the wives loving each other. It's the dude going from one wife to the next.
Not all. That's not all the time. You thinking of them damn? I hate to even say it, them white people who have 4 wives. He goes to each one of their houses every day. They rotate days of the week type shit. It's not that.
I thought that's what polygamy was.
No, I mean, like, if that's their setup, then yes. No, it's more or less I wouldn't even say the number of people, because you can have a woman who has 2 husbands. You can have a man who has 2 wives. You can even have a lesbian couple with a partner. It don't really matter how many partners you have. It's just more than one. But whatever their setup is, that's their setup. As for me and mine, we're going to live under the same roof. We're going to pay the bills. We're going to do everything as a unit.
I say this. I don't have polygamy money right now, so I don't want it. My relationship status has everything to do with
part of it too.
Yes, that is absolutely.
My relationship status is I am a dog owner. He's easy. That's it. That's all I know. You know, where's my son at? Come here, man.
What's up, nephew?
Come here, man. Oh, you're not to get out here, man. That's all I know, man.
2 wolves in a tail wag, huh?
Okay, let Tierney talk. What you think, Tierney? Go ahead.
Oh, Tierney for the streets.
Girls out here popping. Yeah, go ahead.
Anyways, it was a joke. Moving on. On Tierney.
I mean, me personally, I don't know. I think monogamy should be a thing, and that's it for me. But that's because personally, like, I do not want to share the person I'm with anybody, because I'll tell you right now, I am gonna get jealous, and you're not gonna like whoever I'm with because you're not happy with them because they're mine. And I don't know, like, me personally, I think it's going to be hard to find, because I haven't found it yet. And I think that with society and with things changing and people having open minds, which is good, and which I do think we need, but I do think that it's shifted to, like, a lot of people not liking monogamy. And that's a problem for me personally, because I like it. So I know that, like, you know, meeting people and talking to people, they don't want that a lot of the time. So it is difficult when we do believe in monogamy in the world that we live in now, because a lot of people don't anymore. Just like you, like Taylor and Marcus, you get talking about it. You guys have 2 different viewpoints, and I think that that's a lot of the way our generation is. I think it's going to be difficult for me, but that doesn't mean I'm going to give up on it. And basically, I don't know. I'm just all about like being just at the same level as my partner. So, like, you know, we're building something together, and it's just me and him. So that's just how I kind of view things. So
just know, whatever you're looking for, there's an app for that.
Okay.
So is the limitation? I'm trying to figure out how I want to ask this. Is the limitation of it just being one person a personal thing? Is it a common sense thing? Is it a fear? Is it a fear of you could potentially lose your partner to this other person if hypothetically you were open to that? Like, what is the limitation on that?
So I think I think it's a personal thing for everybody. I don't think monogamy is for everyone. I think that everybody has their own personal opinion. Me personally, I would like to have one specific person that I grow with and that I develop a relationship with for the rest of my life. But that's just that's what I want. Like, but everybody doesn't want that, and everybody doesn't have to want that. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. That's what I want. So
it's
I
go ahead, Caleb.
believe I believe that, because I think I'm probably mixing the two without genuinely saying it, so I'll say it straight up. Marriage is between two people. That's how I personally believe. Now, if you want, what I mean?
Oh yeah, two people become one. Yeah, I get that.
Just making sure. Yes. So if we're gonna go off that, then like at marriage, then yes, it's between two people. Now, if you're gonna have a different type of relationship, then by all means, but given good conversations, and it's just like go get with anybody else you want to, or so forth and so forth. But no, in the marriage aspect, that's probably what the eyeball, like that's the eyeball I was looking at. One person you said that you want to spend the rest of your life with. There is no to the next person. There, like, it's just none of that. That's right. Basically.
I'm trying to, because like you could even look at it in a different sense, where they say that depending on who you talk, marriage is between a man and a woman, and that's it.
No, I don't believe it.
I'm just saying, if we're looking at numbers between one and one, we can think about it that way. It's between a man and a woman. That's a thing too.
The one thing that I will say to that is I only care about me. If that relationship, I can't control if two dudes want to get busy. I can't control that. I can't control if a marriage involves 3 or 4 other people. But if we're going to talk personal opinion, my personal opinion is man, woman, 2 people. That's what I know. That's what I'm going to practice.
And that's why I was saying, like, I don't think there is limitations. I think that everybody is allowed to want what they want.
Taylor, you're not slick. I see you.
You said 4. I learned how to count on my fingers early.
I didn't say anything.
I say this, Taylor, to answer your question, I think the limit is self.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's just what Caleb's saying is absolutely right. What you're saying, what Tierney's saying, it's absolutely right. At the end of the day, these are all personal feelings. Monogamy is supposed to be natural, but also what how Tierney feels and how Caleb feels, monogamy is supposed to be normal. But you have to also ask yourself this question: what is normal now?
That's what I was about to ask. What is normal?
You know what I'm saying?
Cultures that's not a thing.
Yeah, no, normacy is personal. What is normal to you isn't normal to me. Let's put it like this: I don't like working out. Working out is normal for you. You know what I'm saying? You like going to the gym.
Hell no.
I don't.
Now you took it too far.
Yeah, I'm not. It's not taking it far. It's just like this is a force. This is habits. This is all this is. Monogamy is a habit. Monogamy is taught. You know what I'm saying? Because if somebody if somebody who raised you was gay, then they would have told you something different. If you grew up in a polygamous relationship, they would have taught you different. But that is only different to other people on the outside.
But I don't think that's true all the time. I don't think that just because you're raised or told something makes you like go either way. Like, I feel like people just grow up and they're going to do what they want to do. Because think about it, social media nowadays and everything in the world, how big it is. I think that back in the day, yes, that's very true because that's all you knew. But I think with our world evolving, I think that a lot of people do end up making their own decisions and changing their own ways.
Because they educate themselves.
Right.
That has to do more with the access.
Okay.
Because if you're not accessible to outside thinking, for example, powerful white people, they operate in a certain way. They do not understand the concept of Black Lives Matter. They feel like they are the reason why we say Black Lives Matter, but they love their way of living so much that it's not wrong to them. It's not normal to do the thing. It's normal to do the things that they do. It's not normal to integrate, you know what I'm saying, with the people who they feel is beneath them.
Right, but those are white supremacists. But there are.
I'm saying is that is their normacy. That is what is normal to them. What is normal to them is what they grew up around, what is embedded to them. Now, when you have somebody like us, people like us who are progressive, and we know and have more knowledge and everything else, then we are more acceptance. Just like what Caleb said. Caleb has said, whatever they do over there is over there. I don't discriminate. I don't disrespect. I don't do nothing. That is their norm. But my norm is my norm. And it's just other people who don't even respect other people's norms whatsoever. So I feel like everything else, it just has to do with accessibility, acceptance, and you know what I'm saying? What is your internal morals? Like you.
Okay.
Yeah. The only thing that I take that back. I don't got anything to say. You right?
Okay. So any more final thoughts about this monogamy topic? Or do we want to move on to financial responsibilities in dating, relationships, whatever? Because this one's gonna be terrible. I don't know.
Okay, good.
I don't know if it's a question between if I'm the first person and you see a second person, go with the second person because you wasn't thinking about me when that second person caught your eye. Ain't no polygamy over this way, big dog. Ain't no polygamy over here, big dog.
I respect it that way. All right, moving on to the next topic about financial responsibility. So we have 2 photos that were sent in the group. Want to read the male or the female first?
I wasn't in the group.
Okay.
You're going to be here every week for the podcast. I will include you in the group.
2 people aren't here.
Why is that?
DJ is in a training session. It put the weather here put our schedules behind because we have really bad thunder storms and stuff here.
Yeah, we got that yesterday.
DJ said he'll maybe hop on. He was playing a game, so you know how that goes, fellas. Anyway, male or female post first?
Okay.
Which one?
We do the male first.
So the male said, until I put a ring on your finger, your financial burden remains entirely your responsibility, not mine. Any help I render is from the good of my heart. It was never, isn't your right. Not an obligation for me. Some women think because they look good, men owe them money. Okay? So the woman said women should be financially taken care of in a relationship. Your woman shouldn't have to worry about paying a damn thing. If you cannot afford to take care of a woman completely, do not date or pursue a woman until you can. The woman is the prize. Pay for it.
And that's why I'm single. Now, I'll say this. The men's side. The way it is taken out of context, that is the narrative. The obligation is correct. It is not a man's obligation to take care of a woman because a woman should be taking care of herself before the man even got there. Now, if you are pursuing this woman, if you are pursuing a relationship, which a relationship to me is practice for marriage. It's just like I am testing the waters. You know what I'm saying? I see a future with you, which is why I'm pursuing you in the first place. So in order for that to progress, I have to show the same qualities as a husband as you do as a wife. So it is my job as a boyfriend to make sure that my girlfriend is taken care of. But if she is not taking care of herself, then no, I am not obligated to pick up her slack because she is supposed to pick up her own slack, just as it's not her responsibility to pick up mine. Oh, thank you.
Caleb.
Damn, I really don't want to get that wild, but all I really is
dog. This is what this is for.
I feel as if a boss wouldn't say that. I got with I got somebody that I'm rocking with right now, and she has her own reasons on why she's successful, but she doesn't see marriage stopping her. She's still gonna do what she wants to do, and that's her financially backing it as well. Like, I feel like if you get in any relationship, whether it's romantic, whether it's employer-employee, whether it's friend, you set the tone and you know what's up. So really it's just, but in all of those, if it's going to be a partnership, you don't step to the table with no money expecting to make moves. So like, I think it's more so, if you're going to put that financial burden on me, just know that I run shit financially. And if you have some money to bring to the table, then we can come back to being a team and we can have some more dialogue. But I'll be damned if I let an emotion like love be your piece in the pot. There's no way in hell I could see that happen. That doesn't make any sense because you wouldn't do that for anything else. And keep it a buck, you a snip if you do that. If, oh, I let my wife get whatever she wants because we're married. Nah, there's no, nah, big dog. I can't rock with that. I really can't.
But the question
You don't owe anybody shit. You don't owe any, and I don't care if there's a room, unless it's money for money. You don't owe anybody shit. I do this like the man. I do this out of the love of my heart, and I pay for you because I want to pay for you. I ain't obligated to shit. You think like that? You think like that? You a simp and you not a boss. You need that.
So, I was gonna make a comment. Leave that out. So my question to y'all is: let's do this on the flip side. Say, I don't know. Scenario is man is in a relationship with a woman. They have a child, and that man asked the woman to stay at home, so that he is the sole breadwinner of everything that comes in that house. Is it still the same?
That's not love. That's not love. There's no way in hell I can tell you to cap yourself and say that I love you in the same breath. There's no way in hell I can do that. There's no way in hell I can do that.
I completely agree. It's just like, just because a baby is born, all of a sudden the narrative has to change. It's just like, why is that? Why are you limiting, you know what I'm saying, somebody who you say you care about? You know what I'm saying? What if she don't want to do that? But what if she doesn't want to stay?
Because in the scenarios that I've seen, the woman will stay at home for the kids' first couple years of life because of development, because of care, because of fear of, the stuff we see in like daycare facilities and things like that. Some people can't even trust their own family members. And another thing is like the bond thing. Because we see in a lot of scenarios that the mom doesn't get to really bond with their child the way that they do, well, the way that they should. Anyway, because you get 6, 8 the maternity leave, you back at work, your kids are left to the care of somebody else. You feel like less of a parent. Some people, that's why some people do it. I'm saying. But there are also some men that will have the conversation with their women. They make a mutual agreement that the woman will stay home until a certain point, and then after that, she decides she wants to go back to work. She go back to work. If not, then it is what it is. But he is the main moneymaker in the house. Some men don't feel like women that stay at home deserve anything extra because they're not doing shit. That is something that's said. I'm pretty sure that.
It's absolutely said. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make it right. But I completely agree. You know what I'm saying? As the man, let's put it like this: the man, I can't even say the right man. I just say me personally. It's just like, if for me, if I were to have a child. I would want my woman to stay at home, not just for the bonding of the child, but just over the years, me hearing the horror stories, you know what I'm saying, that what women go through, you know what I'm saying, women experience, you know what I'm saying, near death, you know what I'm saying, through pregnancy. They're producing another being. You know what I'm saying? I would want my woman to stay at home specifically for health reasons. And if she is able to do such, then she will do that. But as a sole provider, that is what I have been brought up. I was supposed to have been brought up as a man. You are supposed to take care of your family. And if I choose to have that family with somebody, I will be the sole provider.
To take that a step further, if I'm supposed to take care of that family, I could probably take a step back and also be at home as well. There's no gender role on that at all. Especially, I get it. It came out of you. It came out of the woman. It's really the woman's child. I'm gonna claim it because I might have two-step with her 9 months earlier. So I mean, all I'm saying is like that's our thing. I'm not gonna put that on the woman to do so. If she wants to just pop that thing out and then give it to a babysitter, I mean, I might step in, but no, I can't. I'm not just gonna force her to do her motherly duties.
Yep.
So,
nah, big dog.
So what I'm hearing is the relationship status in a way has an effect on obligation or not.
No, it doesn't.
In marriage, you don't feel like you're obligated to take care of your partner in that way.
It's equal. If it's gonna be equal, keep it equal. So back to the original point: is we equal, split the tab. If we equal, pick up the slack together. If we equal, be in it together. But don't put a gender role on the now. I gotta be the sole provider. Now you gotta go. Now you were supposed to be at home. It's equal. If we supposed to be equal, if we partners.
That happens very often that the woman stays at home, the man goes to work. I'm not saying that there are not stay-at-home dads because that's a lie. We all know that because we see them.
It's not supposed to be considered taken care of if two people are doing the work. Because women say it all the time, you cannot measure what a woman does for the household if she stays at home.
Correct.
So you can't.
I disagree.
You come home,
you can tell a woman,
laundry done, food made.
You're not doing it. You're providing the space. You're providing the space. So physically, it seems like a man does more, which is why the argument is where it is. It's just like when men go out and work, they don't do much around the house. And it's just like when women ain't doing shit but sitting around the house. Everything gets diminished in an argument. The men effort gets diminished just as well as the women. So no, if I'm married to somebody and we have a family, and then it's just like I'm not supposed to feel like I'm taking care of somebody. I'm supposed to feel like I'm providing for my family. This is a duty. This isn't a job. Because a caretaker is a job. I am taking care of somebody because that is what I'm hired to do. I'm not hired to take care of my family. I made that choice.
I agree with that. That's why, I mean, like, it kind of seemed like we were talking at the same time. Mm-hmm. But I think the measurement aspect is when a lot of people, I won't even say men, I'm not even going to put a label on it, they feel like women who stay at home are lazy, they don't do anything, they're just there, And I'm saying this is stuff that is said. I'm not saying
it happens, brother. It happens.
It does happen.
I got a family.
I've seen it in my own family.
Yeah, in my own family, it happens. Yeah.
Absolutely. Right. So the measurement part is, yes, you may go to work and work an 8 to 12-hour day at work. But normally how it should go is when you come home, you should have little to nothing to worry about. At least for me, if I was a stay-at-home woman, I would just say that. You will have little to nothing to worry about. So I have 8, 10, 12 hours to just as much as you do to get cooking done, cleaning done, kids to school, soccer practice, all that shit. My job after that, me and my partner. If everything
You're
is
gonna
done,
hate me.
if everything's done, what you say?
I'm about to say you're gonna hate my response, but continue.
That's like in divorces with men who are with women who stay at home and homeschool their kids and shit. And the man's like, oh, well, I brought in all the money. She didn't bring in no income. And then the old down. They pay out the ass for that.
That's the argument. Now that is a perfect example of that in divorce court.
They pay out the ass for a stay-at-home woman. They will sit and calculate that shit, and will get you out of house and home, even though you were sole breadwinner. She stayed at the house.
And in
That is
divorce court,
that is still a job.
yep. In the divorce court, they don't go for what is right or what is necessary. They go for what's available. That's why it ends up so much. Why you think these celebrities pay like 5 to 6 figures in alimony? It's because it's there. That ain't because it's like,
We want prenup. We want prenup. Yeah.
With the real ass, you gonna leave behind. Michael Jordan.
Tiger.
Jeff Bezos.
Tiger Woods.
Yeah. You feel me?
Oh my God.
No
She
way.
made Forbes list off the divorce. You know how much money you gotta make to make Forbes list off the divorce? Oh my God.
We can talk about that another time too.
Tyranny?
I forgot what I was gonna say now.
Oh hell.
She had it.
I kind of have it.
Men and women, financial responsibilities, relationship.
Right. Okay. So at the beginning of a relationship, I think that the whole expectation of like guys paying for everything and da 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 or whatever. I think that me personally, like I would be cool with like, okay, if a dude took me out on a date, fine. And like if I know that we're actually talking and we're actually probably gonna develop something, I wouldn't mind paying for a date here and there too, because I think that that's fair. Like I think the whole expectation that a guy should pay for everything all the time, I think it's kind of messed up, because just like that person, they're all trying to like build money, make money, whatever. And I think,
how old are you?
huh?
How old are you?
24.
You pay for dates?
I'll pay for dates.
I mean, well, so me personally, I've never paid for a date, but I also think that's because.
No, you wishful thinking. I don't know that shit.
That doesn't. Like she's in a position that she's not had to pay for it. But she's not opposed to doing
exactly.
so.
No, it's just rare.
Like if I get asked out on a date, that's fine. But I also go to my dates assuming that I'm going to pay for mine, because I don't ever want to assume that someone's going to pay for me without them saying it. Now, I never have had to, but I'm going to always make sure that I have me on that date, because I don't ever want to show up and then look stupid because I don't have any money to pay for myself. Not saying that I don't tell the guy that, but I'm just saying, like, I got me.
That's a rarity.
Wallet, huh?
That is a rarity.
Her purse.
I'm just saying,
I would have paid.
I'm just saying, I got me if I need to get me. Like,
I like that.
That bitch is in the back. You need to roll up your sleeves.
While y'all watch him. You gonna make it 2 beans out of that Dotson.
But I also think that when you get to like,
he got that ambition, baby. Look at his eyes. This weekend I'm next
I hate y'all, yo. I hate y'all.
I'm done.
That shit funny.
But I think that when you go into marriage, like for me personally, and I know you guys are probably about to look at me like I'm crazy, but here's what I think. I think the whole like, you know how people get divorced and they take 50-50, right? I would be okay, because if I really love somebody and want to spend my life with them, I would be okay if we both signed a prenup, because I think that if they work for what they have, that's okay. And but if we get married, the thing is like I don't plan on getting divorced, so I don't plan on us ever being divorced. So if they feel like they need to sign one, well then you sign one for me as well, and I'm cool with that. Now the thing is because I've worked for everything that I've had, and I plan on being very successful and having a lot, and so I understand that guys feel the same way. Now if they don't feel that way, that's something we could talk about. I'm very open to communication. So, but that's just me personally. I know everybody's not like me, but that's just what I think. And I think that in a marriage, it's together. We're going to do everything equal. So like when you guys were saying stay-at-home moms and dads, I think that it'd be cool if for the first couple of weeks the mom stays home and then the dad can go on because they have that now. I think that we could both, yeah, whatever. But I'm just saying, I think we could both do certain things so that way we both bond with the baby. And I think that like I would never want to stay at home full time, but I do think I'd want to stay at home for a while because it's my baby. But I do think that the dad should be able to stay home too, because of course they want to take care of their baby. And I
oh no, we stayed. They give us what, 2 weeks?
right, return, but I think,
and I think that's just bogus.
yeah, I think dads should get just as much as
3
moms.
weeks.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah, I don't know.
That's trash.
I just feel like the dad should be bonding with the baby as well, because I think that makes it a successful marriage, and it shows the dad and mom both what you guys got to go through every day. So y'all both know how it is. So when the other person comes home, they're like, fuck, I know that they had a long ass day and it can't even probably compare to mine. So y'all have a better understanding of what's going on in each other's head instead of somebody getting mad at someone because they don't understand how it is. So I'm very willing to like open up and do things my way. And I don't think that that's the normal way, but I'm cool with that because I think that that's why marriages don't work. I think kids, financial problems, and all that ABC stuff
Lack
is
of
why
communication.
Right, lack of communication. That's why it doesn't work. And I'm in it to make it work. When I get married, I'm not trying to get divorced, and I'm not trying to like. If we have an issue, I want us to be able to fix that issue. And I know it may take time. Marriages work. However, I'm willing to work at that. I'm not finna just get married just because, like, so that's just me personally. And the whole financial shit, like, I mean, I don't like that. To me, I think that I'd always be willing, not saying that if a man wants to take me out, that is very nice. And I really love that. And I respect that. And I'm gonna let him know that I thank you for that. But I also, you know what, if we're dating and I know there's some serious, let me take you out. Like, you my man, so let me take you out too.
But honestly, I can say that I was raised that way.
Well, I could say that I wasn't raised that way. I was raised to guys should buy me stuff and do this. That's what I think about that.
All the time.
Yes, because I think that if a man's treating me with respect and taking me out, let me take you out. Because obviously we both fuck with each other, so let me take you out.
I was raised that way. That's one thing what my dad told me when I started dating is it is okay for the man first date. That is perfectly fine. For him to pay for the first date, but get the next one. Is it going to hurt you? Is it going to change the dynamic of the relationship you're trying to build with that person? No. It's like a give and take thing. So yeah, he may pay for a date. He may not even want you to pay for a date. But it's nice that men. I've heard that men like when women take them out on dates. It makes them feel special too. It's not.
We feel appreciated. We out here doing all this shit. Yeah, we want to be taken care of sometimes.
Well, I'm just saying too, if a man, so like personally, I've had some people talk to me and they're like, I don't ever want you to pay for anything or pay for when we go on dates. And you know what? The thing is, I'm not even going to fight you on that. So you can have that, but I'm going to show him in a different way. So like when I see him or pull up on him, like I'll bring him something that he likes. Like, you know what I mean? Like if I know he likes A, B, and C,
You better give up. I'll tell you that for sure.
I think we all know. I think we all picking up what I'm putting down.
I didn't hear shit, so
but,
he like.
LOL. I'll put it like this. In that aspect, all I can say is keep your energy. So it's like first date, I want to take you out. That means I got you. If you want to go do something that with me, you ask me out. Then like that's
so for you,
that. And it just goes back. To the thing I was saying before was like, if I want to go do something and I want to bring you along with me, I have to do it. Like I have to cover it. It would be backwards for me to be like, I want you to pay for this. That'd be backwards as hell. So like, for example, a lot of dates I want to do it. I'm bringing you like I got that. But for example, at the same time, I was with somebody, she was like, let's go to the Ferris wheel. I'm not paying for that shit. And what did I not do? I ain't touch my fucking wallet. I ain't pull nothing out. I ain't pull out the driveway she drove. I ain't pull my wallet out. She paid for all that, and still what happened at the end of the night? I ain't pull out. I'm telling you. You just have to keep the energy.
You got the date. She got the date.
Oh, that's a bar.
If she wanted to do it, then she should want to do it. You just can't stop at like, oh, I want to do this, and then just like, I feel like that's backwards just in general. Like, if you want to do something, you gotta give it to get it. You just can't say, I want to do something, and then like, look at you talking about, well, you gonna pay for it.
I think
That's not a relationship.
Oh, that
That
shit.
don't work like that. And then on the bigger aspect, it's like, it's just like, I know some people will call it stupid or like, oh, I'm just not ready, but it's like, these are all like, just know if I'm paying for all the shit, it's my spot.
Well, the thing about
If you want to split it,
the thing about that is I think that women who expect to be taken care of and women who expect everything to be handed to them and kind of thing, and like guys to pay everything, no offense, and I'm not even trying to be rude about them, but like I just feel like they are kind of weak. Like I personally, like I know I'm gonna always have me no matter what. So like with a man, I'm gonna always have me because that's how I am and that's how I was raised, and I don't depend on other people, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't want to be with somebody else and build something together. I'm just saying, like those women who want to be taken care of, they clearly can't do it on their own because they're trying to get stuff from other people.
They sleeping on an air mattress on the floor.
And like, so I think that some of those women like need to get a different. They need to work on themselves. That's what I think they need.
So it's an insecurity thing.
I think that it's a society thing. Just because they're cute, they're supposed to be taken care of, or because they're women. And I think that that's stupid. I think that just because you look pretty and you could put makeup on your face and wear some clothes doesn't mean shit.
That's not put on lip gloss.
No,
hey, Taylor, make that a different topic. If you need makeup, you're not pretty. Period.
well, I didn't say that.
No, he's throwing out topics for next month.
I don't know. Me personally, I'm different, but I also think that like still with our society, people fuck with it. So
Nah, but Caleb right though. Some of these women without makeup look like, do you want to press charges?
No, hey, if I was to do it, I would take a baby wipe to the first date. I'm gonna do that wipe it off. We doing a challenge on your face, Victor. We gotta figure it out.
Yo,
I don't wear makeup or anything like that because I don't even know how. But the thing is some guys, they only like that shit. Like they like that shit. Like to me, I would be plain or simple. But somebody who has makeup, oh, they're so fucking bad and da da da. I can't be bad because I don't wear makeup. The fuck? Like
no, the fact that you have confidence to not wear makeup and look the way you look, no, it's great.
No, but I'm saying, I don't wear the same guys like as somebody who would wear makeup.
Like beats they fucking face every day.
Yeah, like I'm just saying, like if there was a girl that pulled up, like
I don't
with
have
her.
time for that. Continue.
No, I'm just saying though, like if we're at a bar, there's a girl with some makeup and there's me. We're going to go to the girl with the makeup because they think it makes her look better. But even though they say they want natural, that's not. I mean, me personally, I don't think that that's always true. I think they fuck with the girls with makeup. Like
it's hard. It's very hard because, like you said, in this societal age, it's very hard. I feel like in this societal age, it is very hard to find somebody who doesn't wear makeup, even if it's just a smidge.
The minute is very foundation.
Oh, I know. I can see my eyelashes. It's just a little bit of lipstick. It's just a little bit of foundation.
But like I'm saying, I literally don't have anything on. I mean, Carmex, but that doesn't count.
I got lip glosses.
You have to fall asleep in 30 minutes. Shut up. I ain't hearing that.
My lips is ashy, man. Can be all crusty. I've been punishing this gum. That's all I'm gonna say.
Too.
I got 2 pieces at a time. Don't take her on me. That's just what I'm doing. Anyway, moving on to the underrated moment.
Okay. Due to tyranny points toward the end. Yeah, with women wearing, makeup, you know what I'm saying? And some people feel like it is an insecurity. Stuff like that. What's up?
You said makeup, so I did the wipe.
Oh my God. Okay.
Wipe it off.
So,
Sorry.
Dealing with insecurities and us talking about Will and Jada, and then her reasoning why she did the thing she did, which brings me to my moment is, being being single or being by yourself doesn't make you lonely. You know what I'm saying? Take the necessary time. You know what I'm saying? If you are single, you know what I'm saying, and this is what you want, you know what I'm saying? Put it as a goal. You know what I'm saying? Like career. You know what I'm saying? It's just like break it down. Like, why are you single? You know what I'm saying? What is it about you that makes you different? You know what I'm saying? Why is it?
You crazy?
Yeah, I'm just.
It's a self-reflection piece. I 100% agree with you.
No, it's real, because it's just like, don't think of you being single as a bad time. You know what I'm saying? Think of it as a reflecting time.
Oh, I don't think it's a bad time.
No, I'm just saying. This is the moment. This is just the thought.
The underrated
Oh,
moment.
okay.
Yeah, just you know what I'm saying? Just figure out, you know what I'm saying, what makes you different. Like everybody else says, there's plenty of fish in the sea. It's just like, well, what type of fish are you?
Oh, I know what type of fish I am.
Well, that's good. You know what I'm saying? But other people need to also take on that.
Had to be funny because you opened the door, so I had to take it.
Yo.
Oh, you a fish for sure.
That's funny.
I do love to fuck.
That's hilarious. That's
Okay,
hilarious.
moving on.
Okay. Why are you single? Why are you, by yourself? Why are you not in a relationship? What do you accept? Also, ask yourself this question: do you have the patience to teach somebody else who you are, what you like, what you don't like? All these things come into, come to take into personal account, because you have to be willing to tell somebody, hey, this is how I want to be treated, because how you want to be treated isn't how somebody else wants to be treated. Just like you say, you always got you, but it could get to the point when that's not the case for everybody else. Everybody else is, you know what I'm saying? Everybody else doesn't want themselves. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, if you don't even know what you like about you, how somebody else gonna take care of you?
No, I agree.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a time. Everything happens in time. Our life is circled around time. It's just like, we didn't get the job, you know what I'm saying, that we wanted, but we get the job that we get, and we get the job that we need, and it's all due to timing. Because when it's our time, we will progress. You know what I'm saying? We will get all the things that are for us. So don't take the alone time, you know what I'm saying, and then don't take it negative. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Yeah, just have a positive outlook on it.
And I think a lot of single people, I think especially women our age, like my age, I think that a lot
Yeah,
of
because Taylor old.
Marcus older than me, motherfucker. Why you talking?
what I'm saying though is I think a lot of times, like,
Taylor, Marcus is not a woman.
I'm the oldest.
well, no, what I was gonna say though is I think women our age, they get scared. They get scared that they're not going to like find somebody because they are single, and then they end up settling for something because they're like, oh, you know what, I can deal with this A, B, and C, D, but you had in your head what you wanted. So the thing too is like, that's another thing. I think that it is a lot of improvement. Like being single myself, I'm finding out what I want and what I can't, like what I can deal with and what I can't deal with. And like, I think that it's important to stick with like not settling for something. If you want something and you know you deserve it, then you should have that, period. So, and I just don't think a lot of people nowadays do that. So
You just gotta make sure that you call it out like it is. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like, you just can't get mad because somebody isn't. You can't get mad if somebody isn't pleasing you if you haven't taught them. And it's just like in this instance, you can't get mad if you're single if you haven't accepted, like you haven't taught somebody how to want you. So it's really, yeah, you want to know what it.
I'm 100% in agreement with that.
I have no objections.
All right.
Right, we're moving on from the underrated moment to the final.
Oh, last part though. But I will say, you need to have patience in doing it. You can't just get after one or two dudes that ain't shit and just go off on a niggas ain't shit rant and then have that justify all of your things.
Oh, you messing up.
Yeah, but
I'm putting that in my talk your shit section, so be quiet.
wait, no, I want to say one thing about that. Caleb, you're right. However, I'm just saying, from experience, when you've talked to probably 68 worse shit and they all the same, it gets a little bit, not 60, but that's a little bit too much. Maybe like 30.
Yeah.
It's an awkward ass number.
It was just,
LOL. You talk to 60 people and none of them ain't hit. Maybe.
The common denominator in it.
Yeah, the common denominator is Tyranny. Your new name should be Dory. Your fishy ass. Oh my god.
so I'm not coming back as a guest.
Hey,
I'm not coming back as
you
a
will
guest.
get your thick skin eventually. I had to.
No, I have it. I'm just, it's everybody always coming for me. It gets old, So it's just not that
Are
funny.
you
to
done?
me.
Are you in your feet? Please stop.
No, I'm not
You
in my.
said 60?
I'm not coming back.
60?
It was it was like just I was like
It was an exaggeration, King. She meant 47.
Okay.
So we're gonna wrap up Marcus's underrated moment. We move on to the talk your shit section. So this is the opportunity for the show to talk about things that did not make the main topics. So my first one is Nick Cannon being dropped from Viacom due to his comments that he made. I don't know if it was his podcast or a featured podcast where he was talking
His
about
podcast.
his.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to make sure I got that right. On his podcast, when he was talking about the blacks being the true Hebrews and that white people, are the original savages, and yeah. Thoughts, feelings, political statements?
I have to go back and listen to his comments, but yeah, white people have always been the original savage. That's a fact.
I'll play it if y'all want me to.
Please do, before I put my foot in my mouth.
I got you. I got this, big dog. They can still see you if you do stuff behind me, Henri.
Uh-oh, I just got paid, biatch.
Okay.
Let's go to what it really is.
Okay, let me go back here. Share the screen. Where'd it go? Oh, there we go. Okay, no starters.
Talk about the power of melanated people. Talk about who we really are, guys, and understanding that our melanin is still power and it connects us in a way that's the reason why they the black have up. So then we see what is that you're in that genetic annihilation of when you have a person that has the lack of pigment, the lack of melanin, that they know that they will be annihilated. So therefore, however they got the power, they have the lack of compassion. That melanin comes with compassion. Melanin comes with soul. That we call it soul. We soul brothers and sisters. That's the melanin that connects us. So the people that don't have it are a little, and I'm gonna say this carefully, are a little less, and where the term actually comes from, because I'm bringing it all the way back around to Minister Farrakhan, to where they may not have the compassion or the when they were sent to the mountains of Caucasus, when they didn't have the power of the sun, that the sun then started to deteriorate. So then they're acting out of fear, they're acting out of low self-esteem, they're acting. So therefore, the only way that they can act is the only way they have to rob, steal, and fight or flight, in order to survive.
Exactly.
So then these people who didn't have, and when I say we, I speak of the melanated.
Right.
They had savages. They had to be barbaric. They had, because they're in these Nordic mountains, rough, torrential environments. So they're acting as animals.
Right.
So they're the ones that are actually closer to animals. They're the ones that are actually the true savage. And then they built up this warrior, built up this conquering barbaric mentality that they're coming out of Europe. They then said, in order for us to survive, we have to take what's not ours. They went to the land that actually where we are originally, and instead of trying to make friends, they said we want what you, because there's this mentality, or even that we have to conquer. Right. So I see all that in context when we speak of whether it's Jewish people, white people, Europeans, the Illuminati. They were doing that as survival tactics,
right,
to stay on this planet.
Right, because
we never had to do
right, because they've learned when they circumnavigated the globe and they ran into these islands and these places, and we were already there to greet them.
Right, with open arms.
Them, but then
they were deficient.
They were deficient, so they wanted to get what they thought we had, and we did have it. So the rape took place of the woman, the theft took place of the natural resources,
and then that's what their disease.
Exactly.
That's their mentality. Because I'm trying to get to that place of how they were able to get control over the gods. How they were able to get control over their.
Once they learned that though, and now they raped and impregnated, left and came back, and they saw the child brighter. They said, "Wow, that's when they learned genetics, genetic annihilation." So now you have a system of white supremacy to control that.
Right.
So now we have 13 Illuminati that's manipulating and controlling subgroups. Now we got to set up organization. You understand what I'm saying? And look for that same system that you're talking about somebody, what you just laid out. Now it's fight or flight. Now we have to set up these systems in order to survive.
Right.
But listen, not just survive to get some damn hamburger buns and some cheese. I'm talking about on the genetic level.
Because they will, and that's even from the white nationalists to the white supremacy mentalities to Donald Trump himself wanting to build walls. They're trying to keep their
exactly. They're trying to stay alive. Because sometimes they don't know why they acting out.
By 2050, every person will be a person of color.
In a minute.
They saying that's as soon as 2050.
All right. Let's go back to the main screen. Thoughts?
Can I go?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First off, you kind of saw this coming. I mean, it was here's the thing when you talk shit, regardless if it's true or not, consequences.
Okay.
You mentioned something about your bosses. You put them. First off, you generalized. You did what they did to us. They didn't like it. They acted out. Same thing that they do to us. This is all hypocrisy. The simple fact that they don't mind you supporting other black people. You're black. It's perfectly fine. It's also business. You know what I'm saying? If you're supporting black people and black people gravitate to you supporting it, then yes. And if you work for us, that means more business for us. Okay? Now, the shit you was saying, you backed it up with facts. These are facts. They're like, there are some people, out here. So when you felt uncomfortable because you got attacked. So yes, I didn't even hear. I just heard that Wild 'N Out got canceled because Nick Cannon said some shit. I didn't know what he said. So you playing this was the first time. But once you played it, I was just like, oh yeah, absolutely. I expect him to lose his job after this. Everybody else is like kind of in uproar talking about, man, why would he lose his job? He's been supporting black people. Yes, but supporting black people, you know what I'm saying? Stating facts about, white people are totally different things. You know what I'm saying? You being anti-white is totally different from supporting black. Being anti-anything is way different from supporting anything. Now, what he said was that lack of melanin will produce evil. In case in point, Donald Trump building walls. It's like, okay, so that's a fact. I mean, it's just, there's evidence to support his theory. I'll say that. Because they can argue that all white people aren't evil. We, on the other hand, have experience that would say otherwise. So when you generalize black people and you say all of them are violent, belligerent, ghetto, they cannot act what is the word, according or businesslike, or how they feel comfortable with doing instead of being their true selves, and then they get generalized as well. So I wholeheartedly support it.
I second it.
I don't think he said anything wrong. I think that this isn't the first time that Nick has presented this type of, I wouldn't even say the idea of laying facts. He hasn't. This isn't the first time. I want to know what made now different than before. Yes, he's talked about police brutality. Yes, he's talked about Black Lives Matter, but he also has talked about, for example, Dr. Sebi and his holistic approach to healing the body. He's talked about, he fully supports Minister Farrakhan, which of course we know is part of the nation, and everybody has their feelings about the nation when it comes to how they address white people, white devils, things like that. This isn't the first time he said it. So I want to know what made now different. He's been stepping on white people for a while.
The thing, I don't believe that he's been stepping on white people for a while. The thing that got him fired was him apologizing. So it was the fact that he didn't acknowledge and apologize for said things, because like you said, or like we all know, all white people aren't the same. Of course you can generalize it. Of course he spoke nothing but facts. Mm-hmm. But the fact that he didn't give an apology, the fact that he didn't give the apology is the reason why Viacom kicked him to the curb. Business move. You got way too many white people that work for you. Business move. But I'm not going to say, no. Which is, again, like you said, hypocritical, because one thing that I will say, Marcus made a point once upon a time in regard, early on in the podcast regarding for some people, like for white people, Black Lives Matter is against their norm. If you go against the norm, some shit's gonna pop off. When black people went from slaves to citizens, that's where all the extra racism and lynching and all that fun shit came from. You go against the norm, some shit's gonna act up. So if you are going to call, not the fact that, and also another thing that Marcus said, supporting somebody and attacking somebody are two different things. He supports Minister Farrakhan. This time around, he also attacked some other people, some white people. That's the complete difference. So,
but is that
how is it?
Say it again?
But honestly, in the context in which he said it, is that truly attacking white people?
No, not at all. Not at all. And it's not attacking white people because it's a fact. People get mad because they get their feelings hurt, but that's a fact. That is a fact. I've never
something that's a fact.
I'll say this. Here's an example. All the NFL players who said they supported Colin Kaepernick, yet they didn't kneel in the NFL. because with you kneeling is a stab at the people who do not support the kneeling. It is like a spit in the face to them. But you saying, "Oh, I support Colin Kaepernick and what he did," but you not acting upon it. It has totally, there are two different dynamics. Is doing one thing and not doing the other, or doing one thing and doing the other.
You can support Colin Kaepernick all day long, but if you didn't take a kneel with him, then you really didn't feel threatened if you had that ignorant ideology that, oh, if you kneel, you're disrespecting the flag.
Exactly.
So I understand completely. So no, the fact that, not that he doubled down, but he didn't give an apology for what he said is the reason that it got him kicked out. But no, that's an undisputed fact. That is an undisputed fact. I've never seen people of color do the bullshit that white people have done, well, that less melanated people have done through history. That's a fact.
Well, yeah.
You can't knock that. But like I said before, if you're going to try to change somebody's norm and you're going to throw it in their face, they're going to catch an attitude. You're going to get fired from your job.
Yeah, but
you're going to hear.
But he shouldn't have got fired from his job. He got fired from his job because they're racist, because they literally are like, they're basically white supremacists, because you're not fired. Yes, because you cannot fire somebody that's stating a fact. White people came over to Africa and took black people when they didn't own them in the first place and brought them over to a country. And you think that he doesn't have a right to speak on that and he gets fired because he doesn't apologize? He doesn't owe anybody an apology. And everyone needs to stop thinking that anybody owes them an apology, because you can't take. Black people were kings and queens. They knew how to read and write. They were teaching white people how to read and write. So then when you come over and you take something that's not yours, that was what's going to pop off. Black people now coming and talking about things and coming at white people, they have every right to. We should have been done that, because they're the ones that started it. I'm just saying, like, white people coming over and taking us and then basically conforming us to think a certain way about ourselves, about our community, to turn us against each other, raping our women, everything. That's what popped off everything. So now when we're having these conversations, everyone's, you're going to get fired for saying this or doing this. Black Lives Matter is not the only thing. This shouldn't even, like, these conversations should have been had. Like, we should have had these a long time ago. We should have been doing this. This is nothing new. And I think what's frustrating is the fact that he gets fired for not apologizing. But you know what? I'm glad he got fired, because I wouldn't want him to work for a company like that anyways. It's very clear they don't give a fuck about black people, because you're firing someone for saying something, but yet he doesn't need to apologize for it. But it doesn't fit your, you know, whatever your company stands for. Well, then fuck you guys. I mean, that's just my opinion. Like, I'm tired of everybody having to apologize. You don't have to apologize for shit if you're black. If you're white, you do have to apologize, and you need to own up to the fact that that is how, like, white people, and not every white person, but white people have done horrible things and continue to do horrible things to black people. So you have to be held accountable. Like, that's.
Let me break this down for you. Let me break this down for you. You're absolutely right. There's not one person in this group. You couldn't find a person of melanin that's gonna disagree with that. But I will say, these people are ignorant, because they're either ignorant because they don't know, or they're arrogant because they know and don't want to acknowledge it. And they're, for the most part, sensitive because they couldn't get checked on their shit, i.e. they couldn't handle the truth. Now, but I will say this, not saying he should have gotten fired, but you can't walk up to somebody, ask them for a paycheck, and then talk any certain type of way. You can't do that. There's no way in hell you can do that. Not saying it's right by any means, but I'll put it like this. You can't yell the truth at somebody and expect them and judge their reaction. You can judge them all you want, but to say that he shouldn't have got fired, but I'm not saying he should have got fired, but I'm telling you, what the fuck else you expect?
But if a white person did it, they wouldn't care as much, and I bet you they would be like, oh, we stand by him and we do this. Like, I'm just saying, here's the deal. the thing about black people working for white people. It's never going to be fair. That black person has to stand on shelves just to get their job, and they have to be 10 times better. So how is that fair? Because if a white person goes and does something, goes on a talk show and says something about they support the KKK, you think that white person going to get fired? No, they're not going to get fired for saying I stand for the KKK. But they're going to talk to them and put them on a fucking leave of absence for 2 weeks. But if a black person goes and says something that's true about white people, they get fired. Like, I'm just saying, and it's not right. And I agree with you. If you tell the truth to somebody and you ask for a paycheck, they're going to be like, fuck you. And that makes sense. But I just think it's bogus because black people always get the fucking bad rap for everything. Anytime we do anything, you're fired. Anytime a white person does it, oh, it's their mental health, or, oh, they've been going through things, or, oh, he just, this and that. It's always a fucking excuse. But for black people, there's never an excuse. The fact that, you know, we're still trying to rebuild our empires or get money back and get out of poverty, because when slavery did end, we still ain't have a fucking chance. So I'm just saying, we don't get excuses, but white people do. I mean,
now, should he gotten fired? Absolutely not. Should not have gotten fired. Was it expected?
yes.
Absolutely.
But that's
Now,
balanced the expectation for speaking the truth.
You can't speak if you're black.
If the truth was okay to say, we wouldn't be here saying Black Lives Matter now.
Correct.
Because we have been stating that the police have been brutalizing black people for decades. Before we're talking about before social media,
Right.
and you know what I'm saying, after the Emancipation Proclamation.
It's been before George.
That's what I'm saying though. But I'm saying, like, it took George Floyd for white people to get mad. Like, it should not take George Floyd for somebody to get mad, because like you said, Marcus, and like we all know, everyone in this room knows, this has been forever. And it's really irritating that now, like, everybody wants to be on board all of a sudden. And I'm not saying that I'm not happy about it. I'm just saying it's very fucking annoying that now all of a sudden everybody's all about equality and social justice. Oh, now because George Floyd, you saw one man where there's probably multiple others just like him. Just because you saw one man, now Black Lives Matter's hitting again. Like, that.
Well, this brings me back to my point earlier when I said accessibility. And you know what I'm saying, and normacy. It's just like, if you are not brought up in equal, you know what I'm saying, in equality surroundings, like, then you don't know stories like this. These are movies to these people. These are make-believe. These are made-up stories.
But that's the problem. Like, that's
it's the problem. But it's the funny thing is, the problem is the norm. We have a protocol when we leave our house. That is our norm. It's just like, we have to worry about our lives, you know what I'm saying? Not just from police brutality, but people who look like me and you. We have protocols that we have within our community and outside our community. We are always on edge. And people ask and wonder why we're so angry. It's because we suffer because of our anxiety. All the expectance that, everything that we are expected to do and to know and all this stuff, it's overwhelming sometimes. It's tough. It's a tough way to live, but we stomach through it, which is why we're the best people on the planet, which is why we're the most imitated, which is why we're the most hunted, which is why we are threats. We are threats to everybody else's lifestyle, because we control what is cool, we control what is popular, we control what is in. And if white people are not in, but they can control.
They don't get credit for it.
Absolutely not.
No, we don't get credit for it, but the real ones know.
I know, but I guess what irritates me is Nick Cannon speaking out about stuff. If we're fighting for Black Lives Matter, if we're fighting for equality and justice and ANC, then we should be able to speak freely about shit. And people should be able to not get fired for that shit. But like Caleb said, and Caleb's right, you can't do that and expect to get paid. Like, that's just how it is. But I'm just saying it's bullshit. And
he ain't worried about it.
Let me tell you where your frustration lies. Because, and I've had this conversation with Taylor, and when I explain it, I hope you get it. Black and white people are not the same. Point blank, period. You might have Let me explain this.
Right here, that's what I was gonna say. This book right here
Right
explains
there,
all
that
of it.
explains everything.
Literally all of it. It's crazy. Shout out to
I'm gonna
Caleb.
eat that back sooner or later, Tom.
Huh?
I'm gonna eat that back sooner or later.
Yeah.
But let me explain this for you. Black and white people are not the same. Of course, when you want to look at it, oh, there's no difference between a white and a black person. We're the same human being. Of course. But I'm going to tell you straight up like this. If I called you white right now, you feel disrespected. And if I called a white person black, they probably have a fucking field day. They take, like, so I'm telling you, we're not the same. So when you see, the main thing is understanding. A white person understands a white person. That's why they can shoot up a church and then get walked out perfectly fine. They understand dogs. That's why it's like, if that was a cop kneeling on a dog, then, or if you see Will Smith choking out a dog in I Am Legend, white people feel it because they understand dogs. But they don't understand when a Michael Brown happens and now it's, oh, why are the niggers taking over the Quick Trip? Or, damn, George Floyd, like, oh, why can't Colin Kaepernick actually protest in a respectful way? No, they don't understand that. But Tierney, back to your point, the series of events that happened, it took so long for George Floyd to happen. I was talking to somebody else about this. The fact that we are in COVID, we have nothing else to pay attention to. The fact that we have nothing else to pay attention to is when Mike Brown pops off, then it's, oh, well, it's the summer. Oh, it's just some shit that happened. Boom, boom, this, that, and the third. But now George Floyd popped off. All we are is on Twitter looking at all the shit and people posting their outrage. And it all makes sense. Not to mention, they fucked up a Target. They didn't fuck up a QT that only the Midwest knows. They fucked up a Target. Do you understand that white people love Target? When that gets their attention, next thing you know, now it really goes everywhere. So, I mean, back to what you were saying, if a white person can have this conversation, there's understanding because they're talking to a white person. If a black person has this conversation, now people feel like they're getting attacked. And then next thing you know, it either pops off like last week, oh, that girl that pulled out the 9 on that family, or it ends up being like a Nick Cannon and they get fired because they actually can't handle the truth. So.
I honestly don't have anything different than what you guys are saying as far as the whole Nick Cannon thing. I do think it makes shit different when it's coming from us. Because, for example, what is that white lady's name that confronts racism? What's her name?
Jane Elliott. Love her.
Yeah. Because she literally spits facts to people all the time. I mean, of course, we know that she works for self, so obviously that makes a huge difference. But even then, it's not accepted coming from her to her own people.
People, like I said, if I check the
black for that, like you wouldn't even believe it.
That's the thing. If you get a little bit more understanding if it's a white person saying it. Your history teacher, if they actually broke down all the shit that white people did, then like you might accept that a little bit more than like if I'm just some nigga preaching about, oh, the white person this, the white person that. You're gonna take it a little bit differently because at least with that history teacher, you look the same. Or like with that coworker or that professor, you look the same.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's how it is, but I still think it's bullshit.
No, it's absolutely bullshit. No,
I mean, but I agree with you. I like that, and I try so hard to not get so angry about it because I cannot be angry all my life. But like, that's the shit that pisses me off because the fact that like what Caleb's saying is very true, and I think it's fucked up because that's stupid. Because the thing is, it's like, how do you not understand something so simple of the way that what white people did to black people? How do you not understand how that's wrong and how that would progress into something that's a lifelong thing and that was self-taught basically? So like, I'm just saying like,
Go ahead.
The light skin in the front, and then I'll take it after you, Taylor.
I think the argument that I've heard very often is that not only was it white people enslaving us in Africa, we were enslaving ourselves. So and that seems to be a struggle for some people to understand that what they're saying is we have partial responsibility in some of the things that happen to us. Have you not? Did y'all? We know, Caleb. I know me. Know that some of us was over there hoodwinking and swindling and talking and saying, "Hey, you can go to America and get X, Y, Z." To make a profit, selling our own brothers and sisters.
That's just the same argument as like, oh, there's black on black crime. Like, oh,
that's what I was going to say. That's the other argument that happens very often.
No such thing.
Coming from white people.
Yeah, and I don't like that shit.
No, it's no such thing.
Nobody. Here's the deal. Just because some black people were like, "Hey, you can go to America," and kind of did whatever, and said they did it to ourselves. Let me tell you something. Ain't no fucking way all them damn black people that were slaves fucking was like, let me go do this to make a profit. Ain't no fucking
agree
way.
With you.
So like,
I'm just saying that's an argument that's tossed in there.
And the argument that's tossed in there can go fuck themselves because it's bullshit. But I mean, I agree because I've heard that too. And that black on black crime, you got me fucked up because that's exactly why people think that they have some fucking argument on All Lives Matter. You like that shit is so fucking dead. Like you don't have an argument. You say that to make yourself feel better for being racist. Like that's what you say to make yourself feel better for being like I don't know. I just don't agree.
Not consciously, but no, I agree with you with that on short. And it's just when people start to justify it like that, they just leave the simple fact out that like it's not based in there. People will yell out black on black crime. Black people aren't killing each other simply off the fact that they're black. In the same way with slavery over in the middle, like over on the east side, it wasn't slavery based on race. It's just you got to take context with context. But no, people say all lives matter because they lack perspective. People don't say all lives matter because they're trying to hide that they're racist. They might try. That's subconscious, but no, they don't do it just to be like, oh, there's no race. Like they're doing that out of ignorance with lack of perspective. It's not them trying to shit. It's not the I got black friends too argument. Like it's not that at all.
Where I disagree with.
They don't like to divide and exclusion when we say Black Lives Matter. But they don't understand when they say all lives matter, they're still saying Black Lives Matter.
I'm saying this.
It makes them feel better.
I think
in having the inclusion that everyone's the same. We're all on the same playing field. We all matter.
Yeah, but people who say all lives matter also say some bullshit racist shit though. Like they'll be like,
not all of them.
But I think that all lives matter. I really do think that they have a racial bias. Like I think that they are like when they say all lives matter, I really don't think they want to put everybody into a category, but yet Black people obviously are not treated like everybody else and we're the bottom of the bottom. So when you're saying all lives matter like that and you're just like putting it in one perspective, obviously they can't see it from a perspective. And I just think that I think low key, they have some sort of like racial bias against Black people when they say all lives matter.
I say this. To some people, it
not consciously, but yeah.
No, some people. Well, I say this. Most people, it's a racist statement when they say that. To some people who say there is not racism, they're speaking from personal experience. There is no racism because they have not experienced it. And you only speak on what you know. Listen, Lil Wayne has even said, he was like, I have not experienced racism, but he also understands that there is racism in the world. That's the thin line. Just because you have not experienced racism doesn't mean that there isn't racism. Now, to some people, there is no racism because they feel like anything in their mind is just, if it didn't happen, I didn't see it, I didn't feel it, if it did not affect any of my five senses, it does not exist. That is the narrative that people paint. Now, Do we see that's bullshit? Absolutely. Because we also know, just because we don't know the feeling of having money, we know that money exists.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We know the power of what money can do.
Absolutely.
And it's like the ignorance has never been as far as us. The only ignorant thing that we have ever done is have the knowledge and not use it.
Absolutely.
That is the only thing that we have done. As far as all lives matter, all lives do matter. All lives will not matter until Black lives matter.
Correct.
I feel like they gotta switch it then. It really just has to be like because it's exactly what it is. I feel like it's just a cry. It needs to just get changed to Black Lives Matter too.
Mm-hmm. They want the two. They want the two, but it's not. But the two is not needed.
The two, of course, it's not needed, but I feel like it would shut the All Lives Matter movement straight up.
Like the K in knife. That motherfucker's silent, but it's there.
That's funny.
White people didn't hear it.
That's that noise canceling shit they got. But
that, you know what? That actually explains racism perfectly. Black Lives Matter is like K in knife to black people. Black Lives Matter to white people is like K in the word knife to black people. It's silent. But it's not needed.
And you can live a whole life. You can live a whole life and not know how to spell knife because you never need to because it's irrelevant.
Never. But to some white people, Black lives do not mean anything to them.
But then you also put on the flip side, that you can't spell knife without it.
Which is
you can't spell America without racism.
It's already been established. White people would be out here hurting without us.
Mm-hmm. Nah,
These motherfuckers wouldn't have the technology they have, the things that entertain them. They wouldn't have any cultural, honestly, of any kind.
I'll say this. I'll put it like this.
Just me.
I said, let's put it like this. If white people told black people to go back to Africa and we said yes, but the only stipulation is we'll leave, but we have to take every invention that we have ever contributed to the American culture, everything that we have ever invented. And I promise you that white people would survive, but they would struggle from the utmost.
So would that just be black people or people of color, period?
Or it'd be people of color, period, that have to
they done for it, big dog.
No, they're absolutely done. Absolutely done. There is the white culture is, you know what I'm saying, is smallpox, racism, you know what I'm saying, and dominance, you know what I'm saying, over, you know what I'm saying, over the minute, as they would put it, like the insignificant. That's white culture. Like, as far as black culture, we are everything. We are from as simple as air conditioning to street lights to fucking peanut butter. We are everything. And yes, white people will not survive.
That's the wild thing. People go, that's the wild thing. I just said it before when we were talking about relationships previously, where it's just like, you can't make a suggestion and then not back. You can't tell me to go back to Africa and then not give me the money to go back to Africa. I'll go back. I'll pull Nina Simone quick. Like,
absolutely.
Shit. Oh, big dog, but it's just, no, there's no way in hell you can tell me what to do and not back. You don't pay me. You don't own me.
Yeah, pay my trip.
Me?
You pay my trip to go back to Africa. I'll go.
Oh, but you brought me? How you gonna keep me taxes and tell me to leave? Oh, no, big dog. White people are something else.
Man, even in returns in stores, you got to go to customer service. You have to take the people back there. Motherfucker.
Man.
We're going to go ahead and wrap this up because we've been on here since, 8:40? It's 11:56 our time currently.
And I got to go to work.
11? It's 10:56.
Yes, 10:56.
Excuse
Your
me.
clock off, bucko.
10. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the episode of Black Afterthoughts. I'm Taylor.
I am Marcus.
I'm Caleb.
Tyranny.
And you guys have a wonderful night.